Day, divine beings. What a beautiful, beautiful Thursday it is. I'm going live now on YouTube, both Facebooks, and I really wanted to take a moment to address a few questions that you guys may have, things that I've heard. And before we actually get into it, I'm going to do a little bit of promotion with you guys. So as you come in, just say, hey, I can see your comments here, and I'd love to interact with you guys. Let's go ahead and share this. So much love, so much love, so much love. Thank you all just for being present. All right. And sending this to the group. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all for being on here. So good to see y'all. So good to see y'all. Okay, I've done some promotion, so we're gonna get up in here. Blissful day, blissful day. So, the energetic body contouring, what is it? What is it? What does it do? If you guys have seen me post about the energetic body contouring, raise a hand. Let me know. Totally okay if you haven't. Just as y'all are getting here, say, hey, let me see y'all's beautiful faces. Yes. Peace, y'all. So good to have y'all in here. So this live is basically how does this work? And I want to address a lot of common questions about how these sessions work, what happens after the session, what does aftercare look like? Is it non? Is it evasive? Is it non-evasive? Is it worth the investment? Like people really have a lot of questions, and I'm here to answer them all. And so, if y'all have questions about the EBC or just want to pop in and hear about it, see how it works, this is the space to do it. Um, so the energetic body contouring, this is um, my specific, very specific channeled method to shape shifting the body and connecting with the body on a very deep level. And what this looks like is by connecting to the cells in our body, we're able to see and experience and feel what energy are we holding in that particular space of the body. So, for example, a lot of people hold anger in the liver, or they hold, not being able to receive well in their arms, or maybe they build up some fat or inflammation around the jaw, and this is because they're not speaking their truth, or they feel like they have to hide what they have to say, or they just don't feel confident in that inner voice. They don't talk kindly to themselves. Or some people hold guilt in the lower part of the stomach. This is why a lot of people have lower stomach, have issues with removing parts of the lower stomach. But what I really want to touch on is that not all energy in these cells is necessarily a bad thing. And we'll get into that a little bit later, but everybody holds energy in their body for a particular reason. And sometimes that has to do with our upbringing, sometimes that has to do with our DNA. Where has the soul been? What kind of soul experiences have you had? And that impacts your body, that impacts the way your cells are programmed in your body, in your DNA. And so it's really cool to like see how we associate in our mind, in our subconscious mind, as well as the DNA programming that takes place internally, how we associate certain energy to look like externally. Like how is that being expressed in our body? There are many different types of tribes and groups of people who believe that being heavier set represents abundance. So like if your soul comes from that space, and now you're in a society that doesn't value being abundant in being bigger in your body, or more heavier set, then you may feel very out of place. But that is what your cells know, right? Like that's what has been celebrated in one aspect of your soul's journey, right? So that's not always the case with the situation. Or maybe you can't gain weight in a certain area, or you feel like you can't. And that's programming in the cells. They're responding to a programming that is in the DNA for a particular reason. So, what is really cool about that is that in the EBC sessions, we're able to go in to the areas of the body that you want to work on. You talk to me, you say, "Hey, Zane, this is what I want to work on. This is how, you don't have to tell me exactly what you want to shapeshift into, because I'm going to see it." When I'm in the auric field, I'm going to see what is in your mind, and I'm going to communicate that to the cells. I'm going to draw a streamline of energy between what you actually desire to your cells, so that your cells can respond appropriately and actually be on the same page as you. Sometimes the cells just are not on the same page, and sometimes we want something, but what we're doing or what we're saying to ourselves is not benefiting what we actually want. Like we're actually counteracting our divine vision for ourselves by some of the things that we say to ourselves, or just some of the energy that we maybe don't recognize that we need to let go of, or things that we refuse to let go of in the process. So I just saw so many sixes. That was so brilliant. um, but yes, so like we're shape-shifting, we're moving our body, we're moving our divine expression outwards to be present in this physical flesh, right? So when we're in the session, I take you through a meditation. I tell you to really tap into this happy and healthy version of yourself. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And we get really deep into it. And then during the session, you don't have to do anything in particular, but I always recommend just to be very present with the way your body feels. After you tell me what you want to work on, I go to work in those areas. But of course, I'm very on par with your spirit. So if your spirit takes me to a particular place, boom, I'm going to work where your spirit is telling me to work, because it's all connected, it's all correlated. So then I start extracting that energy out of the cell. And this is the cool part. I don't necessarily get rid of that energy. I use a technique called transmutation. I'm a divine alchemist. We got to use the energy we're given, right? So say you have guilt in your gut, and I'm pulling this guilt out of your cells. I'm going to transmute that guilt into something that benefits you. Spirit is going to put a word in my mind so that I know what you need at that time. So maybe you need acceptance. Maybe you need confidence. Maybe you need foundation or security. So I'm going to transmute that energy into your auric field, so you can recycle that energy, but it's now at a higher vibration. It's something that can benefit you. So we're not just releasing and letting go of the energy. No, we're going to put that back into your auric field so that you can utilize it and feel stronger in the process of the transmutation that's taking place within your cells. It's a very beautiful process, but a lot of people don't really understand it. So I know, if you guys have questions about that or how it works, I'm happy to explain it into more depth. Ashley says, man, I wish we could have recorded my session so I could go back and listen to your messages and wisdom. I feel you. And now I've started recommending at the end of the session, like, hey, do you want to get a notepad? Do you want to write these things down in your phone? Because it's a lot of information that goes down in these sessions. Like, you'll be like, whoa, hold on. Like, you're pulling that out? Like, that's what's going on? Like, I had a session one time where we pulled, this person was holding energy in like back fat, lower back fat. and I pulled out incest from their bloodline, and the guilt and like the shame and like it, even though it had nothing to do with them in their current physical body, it was in their DNA. So we pulled it out, and boom. Later on, they actually messaged me later on. They was like, incest, what are you talking about? But they were like, okay, I'm just going to write that down. Tell me why a few months later they had done some digging and they messaged me and said, I found out where the incest is in my family, in my bloodline. And I was like, that's wild. Like, I love it. I love how it shows, even if you may not know in particular, like that thing that we're pulling out, it's going to showcase in your life. Like, spirit is bringing it to the surface for a reason. And sometimes it's things that have not been talked about in our family. Sometimes it's things that have not left the surface of your subconscious mind. Like, it has not literally been pulled out of the files. And then you start reflecting on it. And then you're like, whoa, okay, like this actually affects me. This actually has something to do with me. And I just don't realize it, I got into this work because number one, I wanted to be stronger in my body. I wanted to gain more muscle, and I wanted to support. I knew that muscle was going to support my body better because I'm kind of flexible, and because I'm flexible, whenever I have an injury, if I'm not strong, like my muscles are not strong enough holding that, in place, I tend to have more injury from like car accidents and things like that. Like, I've just been in spaces like that, right? And so I realized that I needed more muscle in my body. But I wasn't necessarily feeling called to go to the gym or anything. And I'm actually a very active person. Like, I could, in the summertime, I walk 5-6 miles a day and I don't lose weight because my body is just used to that. It's what it is, right? And so I realized that I had some stubborn spaces in my body where it was difficult for me to, one, lose weight in certain areas, and then also I was facing challenges with gaining muscle in a particular place. And yes, I do work with people who have difficulty gaining weight. I have had some successful stories with that as well. And yes, so there's nothing off the table with reprogramming the DNA. Like, I'm even working with someone right now to adjust one of her eyes to match the other eye because the structure is a little bit different. And when I started pulling energy out of her face, it actually affected her bone structure, and we went into the spine. It was a lot, but yeah, we do everything around here. We do everything around here, from gaining fuller breast to like, the thing with weight gain too is that you want your body to hold on to the right types of energy. And there's often a lot of detachment patterns with people who don't hold on to weight easily. But you can program the cells to do so in a healthy way. So that's not an issue. Anywho, so going back into the story. So it's like, I realized that I had a lot of what felt like stubborn energy in my body, to where it was like I could shapeshift. I saw myself shapeshifting, but I just couldn't. I was like, what is going on? So I was sitting in meditation, and spirit was just showing me fat cells. Like, spirit was showing me individual cells, the layers, and then I could go deeper into it, and I could see the atoms and like things that were attached to it. And my vision for inside of the body just started expanding. And it was really cool because as it was expanding, spirit was also showing me, this is how you can release this energy from the cell, or this is what is holding in these cells. And different parts of like, you could have a layer of guilt, you could have a layer of shame, you could have a layer of anger, you could have one or two cells that hold that energy. It just kind of depends. Like, we're very multi-layered, multi-dimensional beings. So um yeah, like that's just how it was. So I started working on my own body, and I was not doing any type of physical fitness to bring muscles to my arms. I was just envisioning it, and I was stimulating my muscles with my mind and the techniques that spirit was showing me. I was really like letting go of energy from my fat cells and seeing where I wanted them to go. I was moving them into my glutes, and I was creating stronger foundation in my glutes so that my root chakra could be revitalized with this new energy that is recycled from, a previous, emotion or whatever I was holding on to. And I just saw my body transform, and I still see it transform. I'm patient with it, like I'm not rushing my vision, because I'm literally shape shifting every single day, and that's a beautiful process. But something that I'm really enjoying also is sharing this process with other people. This is not evasive. Like, yes, there can be purging symptoms. Yes, there can be emotional things that surface. Yes, there can be mental things that surface. Yes, you're going to see change in your body, sometimes in ways that it may look like it's going one direction, but it goes another. It goes in the way it's supposed to. It's just, it has to go a certain way. And so the journey is so beautiful also to witness it in other people, and to see and just be a vessel to pulling this energy out, transmuting it, helping people to realize and actualize this shape shifting vision that they have for themselves. And that brings me a lot of joy. Like, it contributes a lot of joy to my everyday life. And that's why I love this service. I love offering it. Do y'all have any questions? Do y'all have questions? Do y'all have things that y'all want to know about energetic body contouring? Is there anything? My ear is itching. I know y'all got questions. I know y'all got questions. Um, but yeah, it's a question that I get often. Um, Oh, I love these questions. Okay. Can a healthy food relationship come with it? Absolutely. So, whenever we are talking about energy that is stored in the body, obviously that has a lot to do with the mind, right? Like, and healing body dysmorphia. Absolutely. So, that has a lot to do with the mind. And one of the things that spirit always takes me to is to purging the mind from old thought patterns and programs that do not serve you, that do not align with your highest vision of yourself, the most loving vision of yourself, the most loving version of you. And um I have seen this in myself, and I've seen this in my clients too, where they want to work out, they want to get more physically active, they want to choose healthier relationships. They no longer have a taste for certain foods. They start to dislike foods that are not good for their body. They start to really feel that. And so there's a lot of shifting mentally that comes with this process. And one of the things that I hear the most too is that, Zane, I now feel so connected to my body. I'm now talking to my body differently. And this has changed the way that I have a relationship with myself. And that is one of the most rewarding things that I can say, is that you start to gain a different kind of relationship with your cells, with your body. And of course, I'm happy to be a support in that as well, even after our sessions. Cosmic Spirit says, what is the purging symptoms like? So everybody's purging is going to be a little bit different, and it depends on what you're purging. But if we are releasing fat cells, a lot of people urinate. Those fat cells are going to have to leave your body in some way, and they usually come out through urination or bowel movements. I do EBC work on myself a few times, I would say about twice a week. And I can tell you that me and that toilet are friends, y'all. Like, and every client that I have with EBC, they say they're on the toilet. And it's just, you got to get rid of it. You have to let go of what your body, like your body's like, okay, we don't need this anymore. And so, yeah, that's common. Some people have emotional things that surface. Like, if we pull out abandonment issues and we address that in our session, People will come to me and say, man, that was hard for me because now I have to address forgiveness to my mom, or now I have to really address how I felt when this situation happened, right? Like you actually go deeper into the shadow work aspect of it. So this is not for people who are ready to actually dig into themselves. But if you're ready for an overall transformation, this is it, right? Like that's what I can say. You're going to have mental changes. You're going to look at yourself differently. You're going to look at yourself more lovingly and through more accepting eyes. You're going to feel a different relationship with food and the things that you consume. You're going to be more conscientious of the things that feel good to your body and feel good to your spirit overall. You're going to recognize what feels heavy to you. And you're going to realize when you start feeling emotions, being more consciously aware of how that sits in your body and how you process those things. So obviously, if we deal with something like regret, for example, so you have regret and that is in your left breast and you're like, okay, I'm having all this regret, and we address it, but then you keep not choosing your truth, right? Like you keep being in resistance to it. You're going to feel symptoms of resistance. And that regret is going to still, like, your body is going to be shifting, but you're going to be very aware of how you hold that energy. And you may even want to go back into holding that energy in the same way. So it just depends. But you have to be ready to, and sometimes your spirit and your body is just going to make you ready in a sense. Like if you agree to this, you are consciously agreeing to change. So your spirit team, your spirit, your highest self, your body is now on the same, like y'all are on the same wavelength, y'all are on the same mission. And so what that means is, like, when you start having resistance, you're basically going to be fighting yourself at that point because you've already made the agreement to change. So a lot of people, I see people have resistance, but for a lot of people, I would say a lot of my clients, they feel a less resistance. They're like, whoa, okay, I was really resistant to change and now I'm like more open. So it just kind of depends on what your relationship with that is. Have I ever considered teaching EBC? I've thought about it, but honestly, I would not know how to teach that. A lot of what, I mean, I can teach like basic energy moving, energy healing techniques, but I can't. I'm not going to say I can't. Spirit has not moved me to do that. That's what I'll say. Because when I thought about it, I thought about what it would look like to actually explain the process of seeing what energy looks like in the cell. And everybody's gift is different. And so, yeah, spirit has just not led me to teach that. And yeah, and if you see anybody out here saying they do energetic body contouring in the way that I do it, they're lying. They're lying because I'm not teaching nobody that. And so, yeah, I know that I would teach people how to curate their own versions of that. But how I do it, I can't teach you how to do that. Let's see. Do you have people who get the contouring more than once? Is it a good idea to get it more than once? Yes. And yes. So some people don't need it more than once. If you're looking for a major body transformation and you have a lot of layering, yes, get more than one session. And I actually have a bundle package that's 4 sessions, and you get over a $600 discount on getting 4 sessions versus 1 session. So it actually pays off to get the bundle more than the solo session, but nothing is wrong with solo sessions. I have somebody who got a solo session 2 months ago and they're like, woo, it just keeps giving, and this is a service that, because it reprograms the cells, your cells are going to keep working towards that vision. but there still may be things in the body that are a little resistant to come out, or if you don't know, um, or if you're just not aware of what energy is being held there, right? Like if you become very self-aware of where you're holding energy and emotions in your body, you can pull that shit right on out. Like it's just something that you can do personally. And I mean, I recommend that regardless. But and then I have some people that have gotten a few sessions from me and that works very well for them. And they continue to see more, continue to go deeper every single time. They continue to go deeper into the body, deeper into the things that are hidden and just pushed down in that space. And they're able to connect even more with their body in the process. So I say do what you're intuitively led to do. If you feel like your transformation needs more than one session, or if you had a session and you're not getting all the results that you really want, like you see results, but it's not where you want it to be, get another session or just book the 4, and you can space out your 4 sessions however long you need them. I have a client that booked 4 sessions in January and we've only done 2, so do I'm going to honor your 4 sessions regardless. What energy is usually held in the breast? So usually in the left breast, this is energy that how you have received or lack thereof, how you like nourishment, nurturing. Were you nourished as a child? Are your feelings considered? Do you feel seen and heard and felt and understood? Has someone nourished a relationship with you? Have they poured into you? If you feel like you have expectations of the way someone should have nourished you and you feel disappointed in that, a lot of the times that can be held in the left breast. The right breast holds how you nurture your own life, how you nurture other people. So if you are feeling uncomfortable in nurturing or pouring into others, that energy is going to be held there. But again, that just depends. Like I said, sometimes you have different emotions that resonate with certain parts of the body, and it's different for everybody. I don't know until I get into your session with you to say, okay, this is what this is. Melly, as you were speaking, I got an affirmation notification that says my body deserves to be loved. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I love it. Would you let us know if you recommend more than one session based on what is found? Yes, I do. I really do my best to let y'all intuitively feel what sessions are good for you with me, so that I can be invited into the space to be of service to you and to be a support to you. But if I notice that something is very multi-layered and we didn't get to it, we didn't get to all of it, I'm going to tell you like, hey, there's still some things that we haven't addressed. It may come out on its own once you deal with these things. Sorry, y'all. It may come out once we've dealt with these things, but if not, then I recommend that we just do another session. So yeah, y'all give me 1 second. Peace, love. Yeah, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Ma'am, you are always invited, so lay it on me anytime and all the time. Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. Do y'all have any other questions? Any other questions how this works? what is to come in a session, um, how it works overall, even after. It truly is a gift that keeps giving, though. I will tell y'all, the one client I had where she basically was getting Botox every 6 months to help firm up her face, help her to look younger. They told her that they couldn't like get rid of these little creases by the eyes and stuff. Y'all, she had one session with me. One session with me, and like literally every week she was sending me updates. This woman was looking younger and younger every week. I was like, what? And then she was like, even like my jaw is defined, these lines near my eyes are gone, and the Botox lady told me they couldn't even get rid of those. Like these lines around my mouth are clearing up, my skin is clearer. Like just the results that was taking place off of one session is miraculous. And for a lot of people, one session is really good. Like you're going to notice, regardless, you're going to notice changes. But honestly, some people have a resistance to the change. And so they're not as perceptive to the change at that time. And some people's bodies do work to release a little bit slower than others, and that's okay too. I do not ever put the expectation that you're going to be a brand new person tomorrow. But I do tell people, like, look, take your pictures. Do not get on a scale because a scale is not your friend. Get you one of those tape measurings. If you want to really look at your body shift, start measuring your body and be prepared for shifts mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because that's the basis of what holds in your body. Melly said, I booked one some months ago and felt the change, but I'm ready to come back for more. I'm going to look into that 4-session package. It's so worth it. The 4-session package is so worth it, y'all. Like, I love how just one session gets us in the door. Four, baby, a whole different person. Like, you coming out a whole different person. And you may not see it immediately, but you definitely are going to see the shift, and other people are going to see the shift in you too. Other people are going to feel a difference. And that's what a lot of people tell me. They're like, I don't really notice a difference, but somebody like, wrapped their arms around me and it was like, whoa, you getting small, like, or, whoa, you bulking up, you looking like muscular, like that's you toning up, like our reflections will see us. Our reflections will see us. And that's sometimes the confirmation that we need, but definitely take pictures frequently and definitely look at them. Look at yourself every few weeks and start looking at the changes in yourself. That's what I tell all my clients with the EBC. Melly said, also my sexual appetite went down, so I assume I needed that. Most likely. Most likely you needed that. That's okay. Spirit just said validation, so that might be a word that you needed, Melly. That might have been something connected to that sexual appetite. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I just wanted to, and 3333, I just saw it. Wow. Okay. Confirmation, Spirit. That's really it. That's all I wanted to come on here and talk about. I am so, so thankful and honored to be a part of y'all's shape-shifting journey. It really is truly miraculous to see and to witness and experience. And I'm very grateful for that. Like, the way Spirit be working through these sessions is so cool. If we had a hard labor, can this help with future pregnancies? If you're holding energy in your body around those pregnancies, yes. Because if we release that, like say you're holding that energy in your inner thighs or in your hips or your lower stomach, around your sacral, if you're holding that energy there and we start to remove that, that energy obviously is going to, that energy removing and being transmuted is going to help you in future experiences. But it's going to create a better relationship with your womb. It's going to create a better relationship with your experiences, more acceptance into those experiences. So, short answer, yes. Long answer, if you have like, you may want to go with an ancestral energy healing for that. If what you're looking to shift is not around those areas or attached to that energy. If that doesn't make sense, come see me in my inbox. I'll explain it deeper. But yeah, that's it, y'all. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I am sending so much love, peace, and joy. Any other questions, come see me in my inbox. If y'all want to go ahead and book a session, I'll send y'all the links. Let me know. And I'm speaking so much joy and peace over your shape-shifting journey. And I'm celebrating you 100%. And yes, Migdalia, I'm ready for tomorrow, ready for our session tomorrow. Yes. So, go ahead and start talking good to you, girl. Go ahead and start talking good to yourself. But I love y'all. I will see y'all next time. Peace out.